Well, hello everyone, and I made this video to talk about a brand new show on Fox called Empire, and let me just say this, it's excellent, okay? It is excellent. So I missed it the first night because I was sleeping and I was really tired, but I heard a lot of good things from it, so I ended up watching it yesterday on the Fox website. And from the get go, it was just so intriguing. It just really draws you in. All the characters are great. I love Taraji P. Henson, Terrence Howard. For the most part, yeah, I can see him as kind of an asshole, kind of a gangster. Like, I don't know, like, yeah, he is a gangster. He does crime and he kills a person. I'm not gonna give you any more spoilers, but a person does die, and basically the premise of the show is about an African American family who got their start by selling drugs because they wanted to invest in their record company. And Cookie, who is Taraji P. Henson's character, sold drugs for her husband, and she ended up going to jail for an odd number of years, and then she got out. So now she is trying to rekindle her relationship with her sons, and the only son that she is close to is Jesse Smollett's character. I'm not fully getting the characters' names. The only memorable characters that I can think of off the top of my head is Cookie and Andre's character, and that's about it. But Cookie is very close to her son, who is gay. Ever since he was a child, she always had his back. There was one horrific scene where Terrence Howard's character throws his son in a trash can because he came down the stairs where they were having a family get together or just friends, and he was wearing heels and very feminine attire, and he was so ashamed and embarrassed. He grabbed the son, and then Cookie chased after him because, of course, like, why would anyone just sit there and let your husband, or anyone for that matter, treat your son like that and practically beat him, like, and then gonna throw him in a trash can. So, Cookie was all mommy bear in that scene, and that was amazing. And here's the thing, I called it before, the whole show premiere, but the character Andre, who is the older son, who I think should probably play Barack Obama in the future if there's ever a biopic of Barack Obama. He married a white woman who automatically we know is suspect. Like, she's not going to be a good character, and it may seem like Andre is being pushed or influenced by her, but she just isn't going to be likable. I can already tell. No one likes her. My mom is like, I don't like her. And Cookie is like, so why you marry that white girl? Just from the get go, like, why'd you marry her? And then he's like, well, mom, she's brilliant. I like her. And she's like, yeah, pretty white girls always are, even if they aren't. And I was like, ooh, that sounds like Azalea Banks talking about Iggy Azalea. Just because she is somewhat attractive and blonde, then people think that she's excellent when really she's not. And this whole ideal that white women can be mediocre as fuck and still exceed over black women, because I guarantee you he went to that school, what was it, Harvard, and there were plenty of brilliant black girls because, like, of course, going to that type of school, I'm sure there were a few brilliant black girls, but because they weren't white and, the Eurocentric beauty standards, and, that's just whatever. And it's like the whole stereotype of an educated black man being married to a white woman. And it's kind of weird because a white woman may not necessarily be the most educated or the most smartest. And it's like when a black man gets an education, a white woman to, let's see, someone outside. I'm kind of weird out because, like, the blinds are open and they can see in with the, because the light is shining. But anyway, a white woman who may be seen as a dumb blonde to anyone else, like white people, or a ditz. I'm not on that, misogyny with the ableist, but basically, that stereotype of white women, which is misogynistic, being dumb and blonde, she may seem like that to any other white person, but then to a black man, just any type of white girl is good enough for him because white is inherently smart. When it comes to whiteness, it's inherently better. So a black man can look at a black woman who has that hood mentality, who it's all materialistic, all about looks, and say this black woman's all about looks, she's all about herself, she doesn't really care about anything else. But then they can get a white woman who is exactly the same thing, but because she's white, then suddenly that's like a status symbol, like, okay, I got myself an education, but you can't be an educated black man unless you're married to a white girl. I mean, that's how it is, and that's unfortunate. But I feel how Lee Daniels wrote it. I'm not sure if I think he is the writer. I think how they wrote it, they're gonna like make it like she is up to no good, and hopefully he leaves her for a black woman, as another Twitter user said. Then there is Jussie Smollett's character, who is dating a white Latino. And frankly, I don't really have an issue with that. I know a lot of gay black men have complained, and rightfully so, because it's every time they have a black man on the show who is gay, it's like he has to be with a non-black man, because it's like this. It's like when it comes to black masculinity, no one really wants to portray black men other than cis hetero norms. But then when we do have a black male character, we have to place him with a white man to make people more comfortable with the fact that this is a gay black man. To show two gay black men makes it very uncomfortable for a very anti-black and queerphobic audience. So they're trying to be diverse without actually being diverse, kind of like how they always have light-skinned black characters. And for the most part, I think the sons are alright, because I usually see light-skinned black women being portrayed as the daughters in the show. So I really aren't going to try to complain like that. But I remember hearing that they were going to cast Wesley Snipes as the father, but Taraji P. Henson was like, she wanted Terrence Howard because for some reason they're really good friends. And I honestly think that was kind of a good idea to have Terrence Howard, because if they would have gotten Wesley Snipes, the sons would have been off. You would have been like, okay, like there's no way their sons could have came out that light. The only relatively dark-skinned person is the rapper's son, which I kind of like. I feel like he's interesting, but he's kind of annoying, but I feel like his talent is interesting to me. But then Jussie Smollett's character helps him out, with his songs and from the beginning. And that was when that hating-ass old white girl comes down and tells Andre, your brothers are showing off again. Like, okay, I always wanted to talk about this, and now I can. Why is it the fact that when a black man is suddenly successful and has money, white women feel this obligation to marry that black man and then try to inherit all their money? Because that's basically what the premise of her character is. She wants the empire. And it's like, you have white privilege. You can easily rip off white men. Not that it makes it any more right, but what I am saying is they choose black men because white people in general feel this, animosity towards black success and feel that they should take it, that black people don't deserve it, so it belongs to them. Like, I feel that a lot of white women who have that mentality feel like, this should belong to them. They should have it and no one else. And that's why a lot of white women feel like they should go for the rich, successful black men, like the Kim Kardashian types. And I'm not saying Kim Kardashian is like intentionally like that, but a lot of times white women are very parasitic off of black success. And they feel like, no black woman deserves this. I'm better suited for a rich black man than a black woman. And I'm trying to get into, the psychology of it all and why white women go for successful black men and feel like, I'm already on top. White men want me, because white men already have this white privilege. And I am already deemed better than black women. But at the same time, a black woman can potentially be in a similar status if she is married to a successful black man like Beyonce and Jay-Z. And so white women feel like something about needing to own black male bodies, or basically to have, black cool or black success, comes from this ideal that as a white person, black people don't deserve this, a black woman doesn't deserve this, a black man doesn't deserve that, it should be about her. It's out of racism, it's out of anti-blackness. And I'm not saying every black woman is every white woman is like that, but enough are like that where you have to be like, okay. But I just want to say, with the son and his boyfriend, I'm not really hating on the boyfriend because the boyfriend seems cool. Like, I'm not sure, maybe later on he may turn out to be a terrible person, but right now he doesn't seem like I got a problem with him. Like, he's not anything where you're like, oh my god, fuck him, like he's a horrible person. I mean, other than the fact that people are disappointed that he is white or non-black. I don't think he is the issue. It's just the white girl, the white woman, the white wife, whatever. Because even Cookie wasn't like, I got a problem with this guy because he's Latino. She wasn't even like that. She kind of made a politically incorrect remark about him being Mexican. But other than that, Cookie was cool with him. Like, she wasn't like hassling him like, oh, why'd you marry that Latino boy? Like she was with Andre. And I think it's because, Andre, the whole relationship between a black man and a white woman, a cishet white woman and a black man, is like, historically, it's been this ideal that black women are inferior. And a lot of times when black men date outside their race, it is misogynoir and a statement against black women. And basically, that's something that you have to look at. A lot of times when black men date white women and only date white women, I'm not saying dating a white woman and then dating a black woman, I mean exclusively dating white women, it's usually a statement against black women. And I don't think Andre is that type of character. He seems like he's cool and he's like, this is a girl that I really like, I have a lot in common with, and I can see why he would like her and marry her, because she seems supportive, but what she is doing is pushing him. She is pressuring him. But to him, it's like, this is a woman that I can confide to, because he always felt like he was the outcast of the family. Because when he was being all bitter and saying like, my dad is always looking at those sons as, the good ones, as the ones that he is proud of, and he's just, Andre, just a guy with the no Doug mentality in him. That's how they described it in the previews. Like, he doesn't have, he doesn't really have the hood lifestyle in him. And the way he was talking to his wife, like, it's like, wow, he really confides in her. He really thinks that she is supportive. But I did find it a little fucked up when she was like, oh, they might as well just kill each other. And he's like, then I can have the money. Like really, I hope he wasn't thinking that she was literal. I hope she thought kill each other like, they're going to have some sort of rift, but not kill each other like Romeo and Juliet type of thing. Like, please, I hope Andre's not that twisted. Because I like Andre. I like the actor, Trey Byers, and I love Taraji P. Henson. I think Taraji makes the show. And then Trey's looks, of course. And then Jussie Smollett is like amazing. And then I like all the characters. I don't really care for Terrence Howard because I just have an issue with him. It's Terrence, the kind of arrogant, light-skinned man who has said some slick shit about black women. I don't know what he said exactly, but I know that in the past he has said some sort of condescending shit about black women. But yeah, overall, I give this show, well, the pilot so far, an A-. It's really good, and I think everyone should watch it. I mean, the Holy Trinity: How to Get Away with Murder, what else? With Blackish and Empire. Scandal. Yeah, it's cool, but I'm just sick of the same plot over and over again. But whatever. I mean, I guess the Holy Quadrilogy, if you include Scandal, but other shows are kind of overshadowing it. but I don't know. Maybe it has to do with misogynoir and the whole Carrie Henson with the white man, the whole bedwench thing. So, have you guys heard that Iggy Azalea is claiming sexism because Azalea Banks, a black woman, is calling Iggy on her bluff? Basically, she thinks that it's sexism for people to say hip hop shouldn't be for white women appropriating black music. Because people think, oh, we're all cool with Eminem and we're cool with Macklemore. That's bullshit. Plenty of black men had an issue with Macklemore. Plenty of black men had an issue with Eminem. And Eminem is talented. Eminem is pretty talented. So black men really can't really complain about Eminem other than the fact that, he's a misogynist, he's this and that, and those are legitimate complaints. But black men aren't complaining about that part. They are complaining that he is a white man stealing the black man's thunder. So you can't even go with this whole, well, if Iggy was a white man, no one would be saying this. No. And it's funny because people don't want to intersect sexism with black women hate. People don't want to say, oh, calling a dark-skinned woman a roach is sexist, calling black women ugly is sexist, or saying that black women are less than white women is sexist. No one wants to say that. No one wants to say that's sexist and racist. But because they can't really go with this whole, well, it's racist to talk about Iggy, then they want to say, well, it's sexist. And then expect black women to have some solidarity with racist white women like Iggy, who wants to acknowledge general sexism, general misogyny, but not misogynoir, because as a Twitter user said, someone that I follow, she benefits from misogynoir. She benefits from black female dehumanization. She does. So Iggy is a piece of shit. Honestly, just wish you would rot in hell, because at first I'm like, she is an awful person, but now I realize she is just, she's probably Satan reincarnated, because she literally hates black women. Because now she wants to say that black women are oppressing her, which that is not true, because white women have the ability to oppress black women and women of color. Light-skinned women have the ability to oppress dark-skinned women of color. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like Iggy, you're not going to win. You suck. Like, people weren't even talking shit about Krayshawn like that. And, you can say what you want about Krayshawn, but at least Krayshawn had a style to her. At least Krayshawn was like, I'm a white girl, but I'm a white girl from Oakland, and I'm being me. But I'm not going to try to act like I understand the politics of black culture, but I'm still going to be into the music, into the style, the retro aspect of the 80s, like Slick Rick and all of that, and TLC, or Salt and Pepper, Krayshawn, yeah, she was appropriating, and she had her friends saying the N-word, be nasty, but at the same time, people weren't even talking about them like that. The only issue they had was that they were saying the N-word, or at least be nasty, but they weren't trying to say that Krayshawn shouldn't be in hip-hop, because I think people understood that her cultural upbringing made her immersed in that culture. Tina Marie, who was my homegirl until her untimely death in 2010, after Christmas, by the way. No one was sitting there saying, well, Tina Marie shouldn't be in R&B because she's a white woman. I mean, maybe some women were and some black men were, but I don't think it was like that, because Tina Marie respected black women. She was in solidarity with them. She never tried to say this was her thing. She would always say that she was inspired by Aretha Franklin and Minnie Riperton and stuff like that. She never tried to be like, this is my thing, this is my shit. Tina Marie always gave credit when it was due. Tina Marie was a musician. Half the stuff she was making, that was her. The sound, that was her. She was innovative. For a white woman from the middle class in, I think, the San Fernando Valley or whatever she's from, this was Tina Marie. My only issue with her was that in LaDonna, she has a song called High Yellow Girl. I mean, it's kind of problematic for white women to be glorifying the ideal that their daughter is mixed race and with high yellow skin tone. So that's kind of weird. But then as you listen to it, I mean, it's kind of offensive though. High yellow girl. And it's a catchy song. And I understand the sentiment, my daughter is mixed race. But it's I it would make sense if you would have called her like Caramel Girl, because yeah, she's high yellow, but she's certainly darker than you. So a white person calling a black person, a light skinned black person, high yellow is kind of like, yeah, to us they are high yellow, but to you they are brown skinned. So it's kind of weird for you who who is lighter than that black person to be calling them light skinned or to be calling them high yellow. Like, I feel like that's something that only black people can refer to other black people if they are lighter than them. A person much lighter than someone else calling someone high yellow or red bone or whatever is like, and I don't really like the term red bone. I don't think that should be used, because that is a racial slur for those of Native and African descent. So, nope. But Iggy is, she's just not a good person. She's not a good rapper. I just hate that black men care about sexism when it's some pretty white woman getting told that she ain't shit by black women, and we're expected to open our hearts for, you know, a fucking white woman who is racist as fuck, but then they can talk shit about Macklemore or Justin Timberlake or Eminem. But we gotta, like, you know, be soft on these oppressive women, because I don't give a fuck if they are oppressed by this society. They are. But at the same time, you can't use their woman status as something that you can throw at women more oppressed than them when they call off their privilege. You just cannot. Have a nice day. I'm done for right now. But yeah, Empire is a good show. Go watch that. And remember, screw Iggy Azalea.